I, like many of you, the fuck starts a video like that? Fucking geography lesson. You know the feeling. We've all been there. I'm really fun and relatable. Who doesn't love a great game of footy down the park? Alan Shearer! But you know what ruins a good game of football with your mates? Topsoil erosion, am I right? Great kick, Kevin, but thanks to all that erosion and deposition, our balls got stuck on the Oxbow Lake. That's my biggest fear, reacting to all of these cringe celebrities and then, God forbid, becoming cringe myself. Impossible, I hear you cry. You, Daniel, have never done or said anything cringeworthy. Anyway, let's get into the subject matter of today's video, which is Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria. God only knows what inappropriate comment he made there. Anyway, so Alec and Hilaria Baldwin have made a strong start to 2023. There was that unfortunate incident back in October 2021, which we shall not mention.
Excuse me.
But now they seem to be right back on track, despite the ongoing lawsuit. That whole thing about Hilaria not really being Spanish and never having lived in Spain is all kind of blown over. Everyone's starting to forget about the other incident. Right back on track now, trying to put all that behind them, and they're going for gold in the 2023 Stunning and Brave Olympics.
Hey everybody, it's December... Do that again. Hey everybody, it's January 5th, the day before my wife's birthday. It is my wife, Hilaria's birthday tomorrow, January 6th.
That's actually pretty hilarious that Hilaria's birthday is on the 6th of January, because here in Spain, that's like our Christmas day, right? You know, all the kids get their presents then. So it's kind of rubbish if, as a kid, you grow up in Spain and your birthday is on the 6th of January. It's like if you grow up in America or England and your birthday is on the 25th of December, you know, it's just like, I don't have a separate birthday and Christmas. So thank God Hilaria grew up Hillary in Boston, Massachusetts, in a completely American family. 8th generation pre-American Revolution New England family. The more I learn about Hillary Haywood Thomas, the more amazing it really is. I don't think there's anyone more American than Hilaria Baldwin. Can you imagine that? She grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, where they would have celebrated Thanksgiving, carving the turkey, and Christmas. Then she would have had her birthday in January. Her childhood winters must have been magical in the Boston snow. As American as apple pie.
We don't attach the same significance to January 6th that other people do. We just say it's Hilaria's birthday.
Am I missing something there? Do Americans, is there something significant about January 6th in America? Or is he just trying to be all woke and talk about the Capitol Hill riots? Because that was January 6th, wasn't it? So, is it that? Or is there another significance? I don't know. I genuinely thought he was going to say, well, you see, in our household, we don't attach the same significance to January the 6th because we've got 7 kids with Spanish names and my wife Hilaria is 100% Spanish, so January the 6th is Hilaria's birthday. I really thought he was going to say it's El Día de Reyes. That's a big deal if you're Spanish, like Hilaria definitely is.
I would like to ask you a favor. I would like to ask you a small favor. And that is, my wife is just, it seems like she's just centimeters shy of 1 million followers on Instagram.
I can't believe, how can you be, and I hate the term, how can you be that tone deaf? You'd think that until this whole manslaughter murder case, wrongful killing thing has all blown over, you'd think they'd want to keep a low profile, but no, not the narcissists. Alec Baldwin takes to Instagram to beg his followers to follow his wife's Instagram.
And I would like to ask you, as a birthday gift, or even just gesture to my wife, would you follow her on Instagram?
This is what this man is begging for. This is what he is using his massive platform to beg for. Followers for his wife's Instagram account.
There are people dying now, so give me the money.
I hope to God he never virtue signals about anything ever again.
Obviously, I love my wife. Obviously, I'm crazy about my wife. Obviously, blah, 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 all the things we all say about people we're in love with.
Obviously, I love my wife. Obviously, I'm crazy about my wife. Blah, blah, blah. All the things you say when you're in love with a woman and whatever.
My wife's the most fabulous person I've ever met in my whole life. That's true. That's true.
My wife is the most fabulous woman I've ever met in my life. That's true. It's true. It's really true.
That's definitely true.
Is it true, Alec? I'm always curious. God, fucking hell, why do you sound so fucking whimsical all the time? I've always wondered, right? Have you ever wondered whether... Fuck off. The thought has crossed my mind on occasion that perhaps people like Alec Baldwin would be okay if they hadn't been famous for so long. You know, he's been famous for 40 odd years, and maybe that's gone to his head. Maybe that's made him narcissistic. But then at the same time, it's highly likely that narcissists are drawn to fame, aren't they? I just wonder sometimes, like, what is it? The chemical makeup of one's brain or their experiences, what goes on? What possesses you when you're Alec fucking Baldwin and you're in the middle of a friggin' wrongful killing case to take to Instagram to beg your 2.5 million followers to get your wife up to 1 million? You don't understand. In Hollywood, we're nothing. If you don't have 1 million followers, you wouldn't understand. My wife is fabulous. She's great. I love her. It's just like blah, 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 blah. She needs 1 million followers. I can't be with a woman who doesn't have 1 million followers on Instagram.
I would like as many of you as possible. I would like a really great surge of people to follow my wife on Instagram, to say happy birthday to my wife.
I would love to travel back in time to the mid-80s and meet a young, vibrant Alec Baldwin, married to the beautiful young Kim Basinger, or however you pronounce her name. Nobody knows, do they? Really?
Would you do that for me?
But I'd love to go back in time and meet a young Alec Baldwin and, you know, like the ghost of Christmas is yet to come, sit him down and show him where he was going to be in 40 years' time.
Go.
Follow my mom on Instagram. Please and thank you.
Today's the day.
The year's 2023, Alec, and you are taking to Instagram to address your 2.5 million followers. Whoa. What's Instagram? Followers? What do I have a cult? What are you talking about? No, don't worry about it. Instagram's there's this whole thing. It's the internet. Basically, you just like holding a small camcorder and talking into it, and you're talking to all of your followers, which are just fans. Basically, it's just an easy way to connect with fans. You're in your house filming yourself. Why would I film myself in my house? I make movies. But don't worry, they all do it. So, you know, you're approaching 65 years of age, it's the year's 2023, and you're filming yourself. And the reason you're filming yourself is because the following day, it's your wife's birthday. Kim Basinger? No, you divorced from her. No, you had a child with her, and she's all grown up now, right? So that's all good. Now, you have 7 little blessings with your new wife. In your mid-60s.
Gonna have a little birthday cake with our kids. Our many kids.
Your new wife is an interesting woman. She's called Hilaria. Spanish? Not exactly. Her real name's Hillary. She's from Boston. She thinks she's Spanish, or at least wants the world to think she's Spanish. And all of your 7 kids, all 7 of them, have Spanish names. There's Alejandro and Lucia and Romeo and all of these other Spanish names. Despite the fact, I must insist, your wife has no Spanish ancestry. So you're on Instagram.
Thank you for all you people who signed on and followed my wife.
What you're doing is you're asking your 2.5 million followers I have 2.5 million followers. Yeah, that's not, it sounds like a lot, but it's not really. I mean, in Instagram terms, you know, there's like teenagers doing better than you, but that's, you know, whatever. You're asking your 2.5 million followers, who are mostly sort of people the age you are then, you're asking them to follow your wife's Instagram. She's got nearly 1 million and you want them to get up to 1 million. That's why you're there. You're making a series of videos trying to get your 2.5 million followers to follow your wife. Is she an actress? No, not really. She just kind of puts photos of herself, like selfies with you and her in bed and the kids, and like her doing sort of like yoga poses and stuff like that. It's not really. I mean, it's just the way things are. It's just what people do in 2023. I mean, it's just the way of the times. Why would my wife want to share intimate photos of her family? I know, it's hard to explain, but that's just what everyone's doing.
We're getting close. We're just, we're not that far away from helping her cross the line to 1 million followers.
Well, I guess it sounds kind of strange, but times change, and if that's the way the world is headed, I guess.
Hilaria is somebody who her social media is a big part of her platform in terms of her promotion of her work and her podcast and other things she's doing. Me too, actually. I mean, it's a very, very handy format, Instagram, for promoting my podcast.
I should also probably mention you're on trial for manslaughter. The whole thing, it happened like a couple of years before this, but it's kind of dragged on a bit. What?
And I have a good interaction on Instagram, whereas on Twitter I have not as much of an interaction with my followers. It's much more quiet.
Plus, you're looking really fat and tired and disheveled. Oh dear God!
I have a couple million followers, and I was hoping some of them would grant my wish and my request. And I think somewhere someone wrote online, I'm on Instagram begging people. Well, I don't think I'm begging people, but I am hopeful that people will do this. This is a little silly gift to my wife.
So I was just hoping, as a little gift, that you could like this video and subscribe and share it on all of your social media platforms. Would you do that for me?